What is going on, SHJ Army? We're back for another How To Tuesday. Today we're going to be talking about pyramid training, and I filled this out ahead of time. Hopefully you can see. Yeah, if I hold it like this, you can. I filled this out ahead of time because I thought back and I was like, every single time I've ever filled this out while the video is playing, I'm just wasting time, kind of like I'm doing right now. So yeah, we'll get into each one of these when we're actually talking about it. First, I want to preface this with why I'm talking about pyramid training and a couple other things. I want to shout out book club, which started yesterday, first time ever Superhero Jack book club. I'll link to that. This is the book we are reading. We took a vote inside the academy. We're going to have it open for the entire SHJ Army, so that email will go out tomorrow, which is the first email that goes out for the month, and the article's already up on the site. Comment on that if you want to get involved and talk about it. Okay, that's one plug. The reason I'm talking about pyramid training is because it keeps coming up in every single one of our videos. That's how to build strength, the last one we talked about. I think I decided that I can clip in things right here. And a lot of the how to train like the superhero playlist that we're doing. Recently we just saw the Hulk, for example. It was all about strength building, and I talked about pyramid training and other lifting maneuvers that you, or types of training that you would use to build strength or work into your assistance work. And it really it helps to know what this is, because there's different variations of pyramid training, and then there's different things to know that I'll talk about, like a working set versus a warm-up set. So those are all things we're going to talk about, but first, cue the music, crack the monster, and let's do this. Alright, so to be perfectly honest, this could be a quick, easy, simple video. I'm just going to go through the different variations, break it down for you a little bit, and talk about pyramid training in general, and then talk about a warm-up set versus a working set, and easy. So this should be one of the quickest How To Tuesday videos, but if I ramble, it'll likely end up at the same time. So let's break right into it. How do you use pyramid training? So what I like to do is I like to use the classic method. This is ascending weight. So the reason it's pyramid is because you're going to, here's my example. Work 5 sets of reps at 12, 10, 8, 6, 4. So the reps are going down while the weight is going up each time. So I always use the example of a bench press. I might start at 135, 12 reps, 185, 10, 225, 8, 275, 6, 315, 4, for example. While reverse pyramid training is ascending weight and descending reps. So let's say you had 4 sets, and your rep count would then get higher as you go up, reverse from classic. And let's say you would start with your max weight. So let's say I'm sitting down at the bench. You just flop that over, and you would start with 315 for 2. Then you might go down to 275 for 4. Then you might go down to 225 for 6. Then you might go down to 185 for 8. So that's reverse pyramid training. And keep in mind, while I'm talking about these things, you could use these all throughout your training if you'd like to. Play around with all of them. So you could do classic for some of your accessory work, and then maybe on certain movements that you feel you should start with a reverse pyramid, maybe like a compound lift, you could throw in a reverse pyramid. And then the last one is even ascending and descending, which is a combination of both. So you might start by warming up, right? You might start by warming up with your ascending weight. So you might start with 8 reps at, let's call it a moderate weight of 185, then go down a little bit, 6 reps with a higher weight at 225, and then 4 reps at that 315, and then drop the weight and hit some reps for 10 and 15 at whatever that is, 185, 155, 135, whatever that is. And this example, doesn't matter if it's bench press or whatever it is, just calling the weights so it's easier for you to recognize what I'm talking about. So that's pyramid training. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about is warm-up sets versus working sets. And the reason I want to talk about that is because it will help when I'm talking about these superhero routines and this other strength building, for example. We talked about how to build strength. It's going to help you piece together the workout routine as a whole. So with accessory work, I like to do pyramid training. Like we just talked about, the classic variation of that, whether it's 3 sets, 4 sets, whatever. And we've seen guys like The Rock, for example, do 4 sets of 12 for basically every single movement. And I'm almost positive he's probably throwing on warm-up sets throughout that and working his way up, just sticking to a 12 rep range. So you don't technically have to follow this pyramid training in the rep range if you can go up and weight and still hit the 12. It's a warm-up set. So there are programs that have warm-up sets that work you up into a working set, for example. So if your program is a 5x5, 5 sets of 5, let's say deadlifts, and your deadlift, that 5x5 is supposed to be at, let's call it 85% of your personal record deadlift, you can't just walk in and hit 5 sets. It's not possible. You got to work your way up to your 85% or your 90% or whatever it is for that 5x5. So that's why those are your working sets. Those 5 heavy lifts that's part of your program are the working sets. You might have warm-up sets to get you there. So let's say your working set was 315 pounds. You might have 135, 185, 225, 275 to work your way up to your working sets of your 3x5 or your 5x5 or whatever your program called for, and those are all warm-up sets on top of it. So you might end up doing, let's call it a 3x5 program where you have 3 sets at 5 reps for 75 to 85% of your 1 rep max, which is 315. You might end up doing a total of 6, 7, 8 sets because you had to warm up to get there. That's why you see some of these power lifters and people focusing really on a compound lift, like we talked about in the Hulk routine. That's why you see some of these people are so heavily focused on the compound, because they're warming up and they're working, and their working sets take such a long time that that's a lot of time and effort. So then all of a sudden after that you might have 3, tops 4 accessory lifts after, where you might do something for back and hit some other movements, where I like to then use the classic variation of pyramid training. So I wanted to let you know about warm-up sets versus working sets, because this ties into putting your program together. Also wanted to talk about pyramid training. We talk a lot about that in the starter pack. I send you 5 to 6 emails talking about different things that you can put into your program. If you want that little tip section, 5 straight days of it, sign up for the newsletter. There's a link below. Join the SHJ Army. Hope you enjoyed this video. I tried to make it quick. I think I was just talking quick instead, and it's probably going to be a long video anyway. But I hope you liked it. Smash the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what you want me to talk about, and I'll see you later. Hey guys, I love pepperoni, and if you subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and check out the links below, I'll get to eat more pepperoni, like, cause I'm a puppy, and I love pepperoni. Please, get me more pepperoni. I just need it. Oh yes, pepperoni's so good. Please subscribe and like.